controversy around NEET is unending at the moment. At News9 Live, we've been trying to keep you updated on all the various developments in the NEET exam and continuously bring updates for you here live on News9. In the latest that is coming out of investigation related to the NEET paper leak, the name of Ravi Atri gang has now emerged. Now, Atri, a resident of Greater Noida, is currently lodged in Meerut jail on charges of leaking other competitive exam question papers. As per police, Atri went to Kota in 2007, studied for MBBS, where he came in touch with the solver gang and became a solver himself. Now, Atri has been involved in leaking papers of various competitive exams like the UP Constable exam and the SBI exam. As per sources, Atri's two henchmen, Atul, Vats and Sanjeev, Mukhiya, were also involved in the NEET 2024 paper leak. Police is now on the lookout for both Atul and Sanjeev. Now, as per police sources, the first clues of the paper leak were found from Patna-Nalanda border. The solver gang got hold of the question paper just a day before the examination, and the paper was solved by a group of students of a reputed medical college in Ranchi. That's where the paper leak began. The paper and the answer key were then sent to the now arrested suspects, including Amit Anand, Nitish Kumar, via WhatsApp. It was Nitish and Amit who gave the question paper to Sikandar Yaduvendu, who ultimately sold it to at least 4 NEET aspirants. Meanwhile, the Bihar Economic Offences Wing unit today questioned RJD leader Tejashwi Yadav's personal assistant Pritam Kumar. Now, Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Vijay Sinha had alleged, remember, that it was Pritam Kumar who had booked the room in Patna guest house for a suspect of the paper leak, Sikandar Kumar Yaduvendu. Tejashwi Yadav, in his reply, said that the charge by Sinha was just an attempt to divert attention from the real masterminds in the case. Now, the Economic Offences Wing unit so far has interrogated Patna guest house supervisor Rakesh Kumar in the matter. Now, in the interrogation, which lasted for about 3 hours, the EOU inquired about Sikandar's stay at the guest house, his alleged links with Pritam Kumar. The Patna Civil Court, meanwhile, has also directed Patna Police to submit the guest house register as an evidence. The court has also instructed the police to appear with the register in the next hearing, which is scheduled for 25th of June. Meanwhile, the Congress party today held protests on NEET issue across the state headquarters as well as the national capital. A letter was sent to all state unit chiefs, Congress legislator party leaders, state in charges, general secretaries and other senior officials, emphasizing the urgent need to address students' grievances. The NEET controversy refuses to die down. Students are not sure whether the paper is going to be held again or not. They are waiting for counselling to begin on 6th of July. Remember, 8th of July is when the Supreme Court will hear a petition on whether NEET 2024 should be redone or not. All of this means that there is a shroud of doubt and unclarity on the future of NEET aspirants. With me on the show is Kapil Gupta, who is the founder of NEETprep.com. Also with us is Rajat Gangawar, who is the president of Delhi State Wing of FIMA and senior resident doctor. I want to first come to you, Dr. Rajat. You know, you've been, I'm sure, looking at and witnessing all that is unfolding in the NEET saga, the NEET 2024, which is, as I said, is shrouded by doubts. We don't know whether the paper is going to be held again. We don't know whether students should prepare themselves for the upcoming counselling. What would your advice be to students right now?
The students, they should continue with their preparation. The students who are not selected, they should continue with their preparation. They should remain cool, calm and composed. And first of all, with all these irregularities, with the NTA, the exam is obviously rigged. There is a confession, is a confession from Anurag Yadav from Bihar. There is a live confession. When there is a confession, the Supreme Court should that cancel that examination. This examination should be reconducted.
Okay. Well, you know, we discussed this yesterday extensively, and I'd like to bring in Kapil here. Kapil, you know, you were with me on the show when we talked about whether exams should be reconducted, and we also discussed at length as to how opinions are divided. There are people who gave their heart and soul throughout the year, right? They don't want to sit in once again through the same arduous process. They want to get over with it. While on the other hand, there are other set of people who think that there may be hope this time around, a hope that was lost from them when the paper was leaked, when those grace mark controversy happened. So while the opinion remains divided, what are students around you asking you? I'm sure you are in touch with these aspirants. What are they feeling? What are they saying?
This uncertainty is not good. So what this is doing right now is that a student, even if he scored a, a very good score, doesn't know whether he's going to get a government college or not, because if the exam happens again, what the performance is going to be of someone, it's anyone's guess. So that is breeding anxiety not only in students who did not score that well, but also among students. We have a lot of students who scored very good marks. They don't know what the future holds for them, because as things, more and more news are coming today. You have just mentioned Ranchi now. This was not there till yesterday. I was I was thinking yesterday when the education minister did a short notice press conference. I thought he's going to announce that we are going to do the exam again, like we have done UGC NET. He did not do that. He just said that we have constituted a high-powered committee to look at how things work at NTA. That's a good step in the right direction, but things are happening very, very slowly for the students who are stuck in the middle of it. It is very, very tough time for students as well as their parents. 24 lakh households right now are suffering. There is no one who is sleeping healthy right now.
Okay, of course they're suffering. It's not just the parents, it's not just the child who wanted to appear, who has appeared, who did not perhaps get their due when they, prepared for it throughout the year, who were met with dejection. It's not just those people, it's their parents, it's their families and their future that hangs in balance. Kapil, from what's come out so far, and since yesterday up until today, we do know for now that the counselling will proceed, that students will sit for counselling from 6th onward. Let's for a minute assume that the examination is cancelled, that the government decides and the NTA decides that there is merit in re-examination. Will a re-exam solve the problem?
It solves a problem from the perspective that students who feel aggrieved, if they did not get a good score, they would get another opportunity. But the same thing is going to happen again next year. What has happened this time structurally needs to be looked at. Were there internal bad apples within NTA? Are there things which need to be done to protect an exam like this? This is one of the biggest exams in the world. I don't think it should happen on a single day. I don't think it should happen in pen paper OMR format. I don't think it should happen once a year. So a lot of things need to be looked at. The way NTA conducts the exams, the processes that they follow, how do they ensure that someone within cannot tamper with the results, as well as ensure that paper leakage. There are a lot of things that need to happen. So doing the exam again solves just one problem. It kind of addresses the grievance of the people who believe that paper was compromised. It doesn't ensure anything for the future, because there are a lot of very, very well entrenched criminals who are trying to make sure that the paper is leaked. Because just imagine if 10,000 people got the paper, which is very easy in a world like today in which you have WhatsApp and Telegram, and from anywhere you are, you can reach the farthest place in the country. If 10,000 people got the paper at 30 lakh rupees, that is the minimum price we have heard till now, that is 3,000 crores. 10,000 people at 30 lakh rupees is 3,000 crores. So this is big money. I don't think this kind of big money is there in drugs. I don't think this kind of big money is any of the big organized crimes.
Absolutely. It's as big as it gets, 30,000 crores, 10,000 people, 30 lakh rupees each.
3,000 crores.
3,000 crores. That's a lot of money there, and it does look like it's another way to, to get money. It's another form of corruption, and a corruption which pays you a lot more than other unscrupulous means, and it has been made bread and butter for a lot of gang.
I'm sure
Yes,
bootlegging doesn't generate this kind of money. I don't think drugs generate this kind of money. So
right.
It's like the funkiest crime in the market right now.
Okay, well, that speaks volumes of the integrity of examination in this country, and we'll come back to it. We are, of course, discussing the NEET controversy, the ongoing conversations around NEET, whether NEET should rehappen, will NEET be reconducted in upcoming days or months. We don't know so far. What we do know is Supreme Court will be hearing the matter later on 8th of July, upon which it will be discussing and deliberating on the necessity to reconduct NEET examination. All those 1,500 odd students who were given grace marks will be reappearing for NEET UG on 23rd of June. That solves just one problem. There are multiple other issues. The Supreme Court today has asked NTA, the National Testing Agency, to respond to pleas for conducting a fresh NEET examination after allegations of paper leak were put out and irregularities that have dented the sanctity of that very crucial paper which one has to give in order to appear in medical colleges. Now this, remember, comes literally 24 hours after the UGC NET exam was also cancelled. All these updates, bringing to light questions around integrity of examination system in this country. On the show with us is Dr. Rajat Gangwar, who continues to be with us. Also is Kapil Gupta, who's the founder of NEET Prep. Dr. Rajat, as I was saying, this is not just about NEET exam alone. This is also about UGC NET. This is also about that SBI exam. It's also about the police exam. It's also about other competitive exams in this country, state level, national level. Time and again, question papers of which are readily available for someone who has the money can come and purchase them. Just before we went into break, we were discussing how this has become more lucrative a way of corruption as opposed to dealing in drugs and dealing in other forms of unscrupulous activities. And it raises serious questions on what the government and the administration is doing as far as future of millions of Indian students is concerned.
In my opinion, first of all, there should be a strict new law in our country to deal with such kind of practices, as the present law is not doing its job. And in my opinion, the authority of conducting the examination from NTA, that should be snatched. Because as we have seen, a lot of irregularities in NEET exam, in UGC NET exam, and other exams too, and it should be given to a credible agency like UPSC. You must have seen from just since the NEET exam has started, there are a lot of court cases all over India due to the irregularities. So the NTA, that is not that is not.
But Dr. Rajat, who does one give it? The question is not whether you should take away the authority from NTA, because if you give it to another body, there are chances of corruption in that body. And to which I think I quite liked what Kapil said. Instead of redoing an examination time and again, instead of asking students to appear for it, why don't we fundamentally take away the possibility of corruption, which is introduce measures in such a way that there is no scope for paper leak, there is no scope for answer keys being later modified, put in more systems into place, as opposed to taking authority away from NTA, because another authority comes to power tomorrow and they may just flounder.
Yes, ma'am, you are right. But as you have seen from past many years, the UPSC has a good reputation. And NTA, the reputation is of NTA is not so good.
Okay. All right. Now, the reputation of NTA has definitely taken a dent, Kapil, hasn't it? I mean, come to think of it, one allegation after the other, and I know we discussed this extensively. Before I let the two of you go, before I let the two of you go, yes, you were saying.
Whenever the result comes, or whenever we are filling the exam forms, their system used to crash. Whenever a 10,000, 20,000 or lakh of students are filling the form, simultaneously their system used to crash. And most of the time the students are having problem in filling forms. Also, they have to get up in the night to fill up the form so that the server is working okay.
All right. So yes, there are problems.
There are lots of things.
Understood. There are a lot of things, there are a lot of issues, as one may say. Kapil, I'd like to bring you back into this conversation before I let the two of you go. We do know that there is a problem with NTA as an authority, but as we were discussing yesterday, the problem fundamentally is not with one authority. Whichever authority tomorrow conducts these examinations may have or face similar challenges as NTA is facing. An authority is made up of people. People are susceptible to corruption.
Yes.
Therefore, we need to tighten our screws when it comes to administration of NTA rather than take authority away from NTA.
No, absolutely. Just imagine this. NTA has put out this number. I'm not making it up. For 24 lakh aspirants, NEET aspirants, the number of people involved in conducting the exam was 2.1 lakh, 2 lakh 10,000 people which includes a lot of invigilators, 4,750 centers, lot of invigilators there, people who would ensure that paper goes properly, comes back properly. There are going to be call center people who are supporting when a student calls. Just imagine this: five of them go bad, and the whole thing crashes out. So this is not easy. All of it needs to be looked. Can you conduct an exam when so many sharks, such lucrative business, when you try and leak it, when so many sharks are looking at them, how difficult would it be for them to identify 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 people out of these 2,10,000 people to lure them? These invigilators at the center get 1,000 rupees a day, 1,000 rupees a day. And when you leak the paper, you have not heard a number less than 30 lakh per student. So that is the kind of difference we are talking about. So it needs to be fundamentally looked at. Otherwise, every exam in this country is suspect, and every time students are going to agitate, and government's governance agenda would get hijacked with all the exams. Imagine, from age 16 to age 25, almost all our youth are writing some exam or the other. It's an
Absolutely.
absolute tragic situation.
It is a tragic situation. Couple, Dr. Rajat, thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining in, for sharing your inputs on that story. We, of course, continue to track the plight of students who are hoping that there will be a re-exam. There is also a bunch of, and a handful of few students who are hoping that the justice will be met. Mostly, students are unsure. They don't know whether to wait or whether to start preparing again. Remember, counselling will begin come 6th of July. The matter will be heard in court on 8th of July. So far, no clarity. Students continue to protest. We will, of course, keep bringing those details for you here on News 9 Live.